go. They should be good. Watch this. Wow! Oh, look at that. It's hitting up this. Whoa! Okay, that's just right below where I'm sitting. Oh, those logs just got knocked around like they're twigs. Look at that guy. Look at that roll all the way down there. Well, good evening. Hey, it's Gretchen here. I am going to be doing a little bit of editing in infrared. And with one of the pictures, some footage that I shot, or some images I shot down the beach from where that video was shot. That video was at Claylock on the Olympic Peninsula. Claylock is within the Olympic National Park, and it's Claylock Campground is a great, beautiful campground, and you can you can oftentimes walk on the beach real nicely when it's not a winter storm and a super high tide like that was, because then, yeah, you stay up on the high ground, and even then it was closer than I really wanted to be. I moved back rather quickly from that. But anyway, so tonight I thought I would hop on and talk a little bit about this project and what I'm doing with infrared, black and white, and with hand tinting, or a dry pigment rub into my black and white infrareds. Have you ever gone back and seen old photos, old black and whites, and then the colors that started to happen when they just started to introduce color? And early on, there wasn't color film, and they would hand tint or hand paint images. And I can remember seeing some of my grandmother's early things and what they did. And then my first job in college was working for a photographer in the University District at the University of Washington. And he was the photographer for all the fraternities and sororities. So he would take all these group shots of people and everything like that in different places. Sometimes they were at the houses, sometimes they were on campus, sometimes they were this, but invariably they would need to be touched up. My job was to touch those up. I sat in a room with a intense light on the pictures and a loop, and ink, and a tiny, tiny, tiny paintbrush, and a piece of paper that matched the printed paper, the paper that he exposed and used to print the pictures, or had them done. So I would go, say, if he sold oh my gosh. Sometimes if it was just maybe 10 copies of a particular picture, I would have to individually hand touch all the dust spots or anything like that was there, matching them with that. Otherwise, I would have to hand touch up a negative, which is a whole nother thing. Or I would hand touch the master print that he would then send to get copied or at some place. You would think that would have caused me to have it lose its allure. But no, No, not now. I have always black and white's always been kind of my favorite thing, and infrared was introduced to me way before I was doing that hand painting. It was introduced to me in high school by my wonderful high school photography teacher, and I never forgot about how wonderful that was to see outside the realm of what standard vision is, what standard idea of color is, or what you see in a standard picture. That there is a whole world out there outside of that. So when the opportunity came up to grab a camera that had been converted to infrared, I nabbed it, and then just a few months ago, I nabbed another one because, I had to give myself a birthday present. I was turning 70 last weekend, so when the opportunity came up for another one, a 50 megapixel converted infrared, I went, "Ooh, yes, let's do that." So I'm working on a project though, because I really was. Some of them were not coming out the way I expected them to and whatnot. So I had seen a painter in Arizona who had done his entire work, a big piece by about 6 foot by 8 foot canvas. And it was all done on canvas with dry pigment. And he had rubbed it into the canvas, and it just was stunning. And I thought, I wonder if I can do that with a photograph. That's kind of like that. And so I've started that. I'm having some pretty good success with it. I'm having some fun. But one of the things I'm running into is the idea of the paper. So it's really essential. So what I've done here, let me see. I have tried several. I found a digital printing watercolor paper from Strathmore. It had a fair amount of texture, but acted a lot more like a watercolor paper. Printed all right. I have Canon Fine Art Rough, and that worked pretty well too. But it had a distinctive, it was a white. So it's a cotton paper, and it's a white, not a bright white. And if you've ever compared the difference in colors of paper, photo paper, whatnot, it's distinct, whether it's a cotton, whether it's a cotton cellulose, whether it's a white, whether it's a bright white, whether it's had optical brighteners added, all makes a difference. And the surface texture makes a ton of difference too. So I had printed a particular piece on, I had in a sample, I had a Hahnemühle paper, Fine Art Beretta, but it is great for my straight black and whites, but it had no texture to it. So then what I did was I ordered this. I ordered this Hahnemühle sample pack digital fine art collection matte fine art textured, because I went through looking for all of these different things, the Albert Dürer, the Torsion, and I couldn't find really direct. Let's see, the other one, German etching, William Turner, and then the museum etching. This little 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is 11 by 17. This is 13 by 19. Oh, that's right. This is 13 by 19. So there's 10 sheets of paper in here, and and it was $27, $27. So they're not exactly inexpensive to practice on to figure out which one works the best. And I didn't if if I mean I can get a couple of prints off of a 13 by 19 if I'm not doing giant ones. I really want to print 11 by 17s, and this is a good size to have and have a working area around the outside that I can mask out, that I can mat out to. Um, but I grabbed the samples because I thought, which one has the texture that I want? So I've gone through looking at all of these, and like I said, they go from 210 GSM, which is lighter weight than I normally do, down to 350 with this museum etching. And I have a Hahnemuhle sample thing, and I don't know if you can see, but you can there's the difference in whiteness, whether they're a white or a bright white, 100% cotton, the weight, everything makes so much different. Like here is Torsion, which is the one that I'm actually going to go with, and Photo Rag. And even if I hold these up, you may not be able to see, but I can see the difference in the color. So when I print, I have to compensate for that. And that's probably why I'm sitting here in a super dark room, because I have my light adjusted so that you can still see me, but I have it adjusted so that it's white balanced. And so I got this, which is what I'm going to do. But my next thing is to work on what it looks like. Now, here we go. The other thing here, just nerd out for a second with me, you guys. This is what Hahnemuhle does. Moab does this too. But inside everything of paper you'll get, from the tiny little cards to the big size, is a sheet of paper like this. The same size. I mean, here's the backside information, the matte fine art textured, but this, what do they give you on everyone? Harkens back to the old darkroom days. This is an 18% gray card. A piece of paper that's 18% gray. And when you're working in black and white, that's just like, whoa, it's so good. It's so good. Just nerd out on that kind of stuff. So, all right. So my choice is preferably Torsion because of the texture of it. It has a really distinct texture. And if I'm going to rub pigment into it, I want that texture to show. I want it to be part of the image. So that's one thing. I got the sample. I'm going to test it, which is before I order a pack of that stuff, because then instead of me paying $25 for 10 sheets, I'm going to be paying a significant, I think it's about $120 for this size for a box of 25 sheets, which, it's what I do. But with that, you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to test print. You want to make sure you have all your settings right. So here we're going to go over to here. Come on, go to Lightroom. Come on. Change. Hang on. Funny. I am stuck on this here. Go back to here. Now I'll go to here. There we go. Oh, that's the overhead. That's not that. What's this? Here, here. Oh, that's that. Oh, I know what happened. Well, thank you. This and what happened to... Oh, there it is. Screen share. There we go. Why did my screen share disappear? And that. And there we go. There it is. And this one. There we go. Yay. What the heck? Too many extra stuff. Ah, well, I got it. All right. So here we go. Here's my screen share. This is the image that I am working with. All right. So you can see, I hope you can see my mouse. You're supposed to be able to see my mouse. Let me see. Well, if you can't see my mouse, I'm not sure why, but I apologize. I'll work on that at some other point. So here, this is the image that I'm working with. As you can see, as it is right now, there's a couple blue spots. If you can see them, shows that the black is blown out on this, but I'm not going to mess with that. I've already done a fair amount of adjustments. I have a lot of masks I've done on this one. You see, go back here. I've adjusted what I needed to adjust. I've got this looking image-wise the way I want it to. Now, here's the thing. I can't just hop in and go, yeah, let's just do this and print it, because it's liable to not do what I want. So now I'm going to have to do a soft proof. So I just hit S for soft proofing. And then my profile up here is to go up and choose the paper profile. This was the other issue I had. I needed to download the ICC profile for this paper because I have only previously used about 3 or 4 Hahnemuhls. I usually use Moab. And my printer, even though it's an ImageGraph Pro 1000, is considered old enough that they've archived those. And then I had to go through. It was a chore. I found them finally, but I got them. So I'm choosing this profile. So if I choose a different profile, you'll see how the color changes, how it looks different. That's a Beretta. Where's my torchon? Here's a textured rag. Here's a fine art pearl. So you can go through all of those and pick and choose how you want it to look and what it's going to look like on the paper that you chose. This is the torchon paper that I've chosen. You notice that I lost some of the deep blacks. And if I go back up here to my histogram, although I don't have complete white and I don't have complete black, so I have a couple things I do. If I make adjustments in here, let me make adjustments, then it's going to ask me, do I want to make a print copy or a copy for this? And I might. So whites, let's give a little more white. And let's drop the blacks down a little more. And let's try that. So I go S. Oh, see all the more blue things. So the difference is, see all these blown out spots. If you just go straight from this, when you go to print, it doesn't come out the way you expect it to. So here I am for that proof preview, and it's perceptual, and I'm going to create a proof copy just because I want to. All right. Okay, so this is the one that I'm going to do with that. And I'm going to use torsion. Okay, so that one's good. Now let's go to another image. These are all, you see they're red because at the beach, this is what, before I change, oops, let's go to, I'm still in soft proofing, sorry. Let's change this to, not Adobe Color, but Adobe Adaptive. Let's try Adaptive Black and White. See if that works. Are you going to switch? It's taking its time. Okay, there's an adaptive black and white for that. Or Adobe Monochrome. Okay, there's the Adobe Monochrome. Sometimes I like to start with just the basic switching from, like here, I might just hit V and have it switch to black and white. I don't know if I'm going to do those guys. That's just some sandy dirt stuff. Oh, this one. Okay. Overexposed. All right. Let's go back. Let's go back to this. All right. So that's a monochrome. There's the adaptive black and white. If I go to standard and choose, hold it, which one of there? Black and white. Standard monochrome. Okay. I think I like the adaptive. Let's see what it looks like. See, anytime when you shoot in infrared, things that are like lush green will come out white. Evergreen trees don't do that, though. It's funny. Most things that are like deciduous, other kind of plant life, because with the kind of filter, they come out white. But these guys didn't. I kind of see that. What's this over here? Oh, that's a cactus. Where am I here? What's this one? Let's see. Let's just switch this to black and white. What is that up on that hill up there? Oh, that's the sign on the tree. That's the tsunami warning sign. Yes, hidden by the bushes. That's real helpful. Okay, let's go to this one and go to adapt black and white. Yeah, okay, that's going to work. That a new adaptive black and white is kind of helping with that, but then I can always go over to my presets if I want. And I think I have a, no, that's a black and white infrared architecture mask. That's not going to work. Oh, maybe so. Oh, that's kind of cool. I get it. All right, I like that. How much do I want to put it on? Oh, good. I lifted there. I like that coming in from the path down here. Okay. Again, let's take a soft proof on these. Ooh. There. and see what I do. I don't think, oh, I have an alert. Yeah, there, that's better. I don't need this sign, the tsunami warning sign. Let's try that. What's this telling me? Oh, I need to adjust that. There we go. And let's see if I can do a denoise also. One of the things with the infrared, especially with the RP, I get a little more noise sometimes, just the way I'm shooting, because I'm sometimes shooting in some pretty low light. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's not going to tell me. So this one I may do something with too. I think it's a little wide. I kind of want that, but we'll see. All right. Anyway, so that's what I'm working with. I've got a whole lot of infrareds here. Some that need repair work. Like this is one of the things you get with infrared is this lens flare. If you're not, well, it just is part of it. Infrared does that. Certain lenses do it more so than others. And they haven't, there's a, Kalari's put together a list, but it's been a long time since it's been updated. This is one that I did already. And if I go back, hang on, here, I can, oh, let's see if I can find it. This one. Yeah, I'll pull this one over here. Are you coming? There. And okay, covering myself just so you can see what I've done, what I'm doing with these. And whoa, I'm working with two screens here. Where'd I go? There I did. Square. There we go. Not real smooth, huh? Oh, well. There. Okay. So here you're going to see this is a colorized piece that is of this one here. There you go. Okay. You see that one? If I do a soft proofing on it with a torchon, which I didn't have torchon when I did this one, but this is a path down to that beach. And that's done in infrared. So it's kind of a cool, it's a picture that I liked, but I thought it needed a little bit something more. So then I did this to it. I printed it on a very textured paper. And there you can see the whole thing. And just colorized part of it. Where the sunset might have been coming in, I added a little bit of brightener to some of the beach grass up front and a little bit of the sky. So that's the project that I'm working on. It's a lot of fun and it's very different, and it kind of integrates the two parts of me that is the photographer and also the artist of watercolor media, other kind of traditional artists rather than that. So it's just something new. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go print that other one, and I'm not going to sit here and have you guys be bored with the printing. I'll come back another night and see how it goes, show you that, and see how it works on that paper. I'll give you an update on that. But I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this at all, I appreciate the like and subscribe, and maybe share this with a friend of yours who's an artist or a photographer or somebody who likes infrared or just somebody who's a little wackadoo like me. And that's the way it goes. And so, yeah, thanks for being here. And, you know, like I always say, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. And it's also a lot of times outside of your field of vision, of your traditional sight. So, get ready for that. And I'll see you next time.